Welcome to the Impactful Entrepreneur Show with Adrienne Hill, a place for online business industry expertise and thought leadership, where you can build the skills, structure, and systems you need to thrive in business and have a lasting impact in your industry. Let's do this. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. I'm super excited about this one. Today, I'm here with my good friend, Shannon Lavenia, and she is a high energy, dynamic speaker, a coach, a serial entrepreneur, and she's transformed her life from bored, broke high school teacher to online business and branding expert. Her story is one of overcoming adversity to live an incredible life. She's survived and thrived through being an orphan and beating stage 3 breast cancer. So when it comes to grit and resilience, you really need to hear from Shannon. She's the founder of Brand Builder Design Studios, co-founder of Sales Genie CRM, and creator of the Brand Builder Course Collective, which includes CEO Freedom Accelerator, List Cure, and Brand Builder programs. She's family focused and she's operating her business with the philosophy of family fun first, while still creating incredible results and serving her audience with results-driven expertise. She's been featured in Thrive Global, Authority Magazine, Databox, Lead Pages, Medium, and most recently Entrepreneur Magazine, which is so exciting. And today she'll be talking to us about 4 simple automations that will save you time and make you money. So of course we need to hear from Shannon. I'm so excited to have her here. Thank you so much, Shannon, for joining us.
I am so happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me to the summit, Adrienne. I love being a part of your summits. They're just fantastic and provide so much value.
We can't do them without you. You're a must-have every time.
Oh, thank you. I love being here. It's always fun.
Such a fun group, and we have an amazing group of speakers here to bring some really cool energy to the table. So I'm super excited to dive in. Now, for the people who are possibly meeting you for the first time, can you tell us just a little bit about your story and what brought you to this point in your entrepreneurial journey?
Absolutely. I would love to. So as you said, I actually was a high school teacher. I taught high school biology. And after 8 years of that, I realized that I really wasn't, I guess, formed or made to work that hard for that little. And every day I would go into work and I would just be like, oh my gosh, is this going to be my life? And really kind of the wake-up call came one day when I was in the teacher's lounge and I looked around and there were teachers who had been teaching for like 25, 30 years. And they were just miserable. So it kind of like was a crystal ball, showing me what the future held for me if I stayed on the same path that I was on. And I decided to become an entrepreneur. My husband and I started a business together. Really, we had the inkling, but kind of the hard line in the sand came when he was downsized at his job. At the weekend we got married. So it actually was like quite a stunner. Yeah, it was really, really shocking. And so we kind of got thrown into being, entrepreneurs. And we started in the direct selling industry, selling personal development products. In fact, our first product was by a guy many people know, Bob Proctor, who recently just passed, but made this legendary contribution around the world. And we sold one of his courses, we sold conferences, and we did really well. We made our first $1 million in just 16 months in business. And that was like money we profited. And we just went from there. I've worked from home now for this kind of ages me 20 years. And this year is our 20th anniversary working from home, starting our business. And it's been really great. Like we've gotten to live different places. We just recently moved to Florida from Arizona. Before Arizona, we lived in Utah. We were like, let's go live in the mountains. And then we were done with that. Let's live in the desert, kind of done with that. Now we're on the beach. And, we just get to do a lot of things that we love to do. And we get to help other people. And where my branding agency came from was obviously when you do really well in business, a lot of people start to ask you what you've done. And it was just a natural progression to helping other people develop standout brands that really would get a lot of attention and connect with clients, and teaching people how to market online, and also automate. Like I'm very big on automation because I'm always looking at how much I am working and work. I truly believe if you get your processes and systems in order, you can work a lot less, but still earn a lot more.
Yeah. And that's perfect. That's what this whole summit's all about, right? Is like, if you are working yourself to death, right? That is no lifestyle. That's not a life that anyone wants to live. And so the more you can streamline and systematize your business, you're going to have a better lifestyle attached to it. But I just want to circle back to a couple things in your story that may be resonating with people in the audience. And first of all, what a crazy honeymoon period to be like, surprise, you don't have jobs. Like, but there's something magical that happens when you burn the boats. Like there's no other choice. You have to commit. Like you're not like half in and half out. You have to be all in. And I have a feeling that had a lot to do with why you're so successful, because when you have to be all in, man, you are all in, right?
It's very true. And sometimes when I find that people are very casual about their businesses and their businesses are struggling, or even worse, like when I'm onboarding a client, one of the things that we do is kind of a profit analysis, like how much money are you making? And people will say 0, but that's not the correct answer because they've had expenses, right? And they're not looking at that. They're being very casual about it. Where when we started our business, it was kind of like, feet to the fire, and we just had to go. We just had to commit ourselves. And there were things that we did, which is kind of a little bit off topic, a little bit of a tangent, but one of the things that we did right away was we started to fill our tank with all the right information. And that's what everyone here is doing on this summit, right? Like you're filling your tank with the right information. And we knew that we had to change our kind of beingness, like our way of thinking, if we were going to earn more, if we were going to create a better life. So we canceled our cable TV. We stopped listening to the news, and all we did was read positive stuff. We hung around positive people. We looked for mentors. We had a coach. We did all those things to make sure that we were aligned with the amount of effort and intention we were going to put into our business. And that produced a really amazing result.
Yeah, that's super, super smart, because whatever you're putting in here is going to make its way into the results in your life. And so you guys were very intentional about what you allowed in your lives. And so fantastic. Yes. And, I just have to say, it's fantastic that you have this teaching background, because teachers make great coaches.
That's right.
So that's working in your favor. So I love that.
And I love teaching. I love teaching. I just hated the politics of the public school system. And it's gotten even wilder and crazier now. But when I was in it, it was even really rigid and difficult to make a difference in kids' lives. And that kind of containment really was a struggle for me. So I love to teach, and I just transformed it into teaching entrepreneurs how to be successful online.
Yeah. Well, and the other part of your story that really kind of grabbed my attention is you started by selling someone else's product or service. And as you developed a lot of skills and you got really good at doing that, you naturally expanded into creating your own products, your own services, your own programs and things like that. And so there's lots of people in the audience watching who are on both sides, right? Some people are still selling other people's products and services, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? You can make great money doing that, especially if they have great product.
You make millions. That's right.
Just like Shannon. And now there's a lot of people in the audience as well who have expanded into creating their own products, services, courses, programs, that kinds of things. So tell us a little bit about, you talked about the key automations, the 4 simple automations that can save you time and money. What are the big 4, in your opinion, that if people are wanting to streamline and systematize their business, the 4 they have to have if they don't want to have heartache and headaches?
Okay. So number 1 is you have to have some sort of funnel in place. And what I mean by that is in business, your email database is your most valuable asset. And even though we live in the world of social media now, and you can instant message people and direct message people and comment and communicate via social media, you don't own that data. And if social media were to kick you off or to go away, you don't really have anything that is an asset for you, right? You're a part of someone else's asset. So when you have an email database, when you're building an email list, that's your asset. So any type of promotion that we do, whether it is offering something for free or commenting on somebody's stuff and saying, hey, we can help you with this, we always have an opt-in funnel in place where somebody can put their name and their email address and get something in return for that. So that's the first thing, is you need to have at least one funnel that you can send people to get their name and email address. These days, you can even do it with a Facebook group. You can have people go to your Facebook group, input their email address in one of the questions, and then suck that email address right into your system. And there's different systems out there. I know you use Kartra, Adrienne. I use Sales Genie CRM. Some people use other stuff, right? But there's tools that you can use to get that email address into your database, even from Facebook. So that's the first one. The second one is you have to have an automated calendar set up so that people can book a call with you very easily. Because I will tell you, it is the biggest waste of time to sit here and be like, well, how about Monday at 1? Oh, that doesn't work. What about Wednesday at 3? What about this? What about that? And like, before you know it, you're like 4 weeks away and nobody can, figure out what time you guys can connect. So having a calendar in place with automated reminders that set people up is going to be one of your most valuable automations that you can have. The third automation that I think is incredibly important to anybody who is doing any type of sales is to use a system where you can track your leads in a sales pipeline. And when you have that sales pipeline that you can drag and drop people through stages, you're going to make way more sales. Statistically, we've proven this over and over again. When you have a down point in time, like let's say you're at the end of the week and you're like, holy, I need to make another $2,000 or whatever, right? You can either like fumble through your Post-its, right, of notes that you have on people, or you can go into your system and be like, okay, here's the hot prospects I have. Let me get into communicating with these guys to see if I can pull a sale in before the end of the business week, right? So using a system, we use Sales Genie CRM, and when we drag and drop our prospects from one stage to another, we even have automations that are a little bit higher level with that will set up tasks for our sales team, that will put notes, to say, hey, a call was made, and this is where that's going, right? So that's the third automation that I think is really important for anybody in business. Back in the day, in like 2002, when I first got started, we used to use a recipe box and index cards.
Yes.
Right?
I was just going to say, I've heard of people using recipe boxes and index cards, trying to write it in a notebook, trying to create an Excel worksheet. And it's like, honestly, you're going to work yourself to death because they all require your manual input.
That's right. And you'll forget because you'll get off the phone and the kid will be crying, or your husband walks in, or it's time to go to the movie. Like there's a million things that can distract you from actually updating the record. And then you forget and you kind of lose, what's happening there.
Yeah. Okay.
So then the fourth automation, I think I'm going to throw in a fifth one here that I was just talking about. Little bonus. The fourth one is to have a really good in-doc sequence. And what I mean by in-doc is kind of like indoctrination. It's a word that we use when we're talking about getting the new lead warmed up to who we are, what we offer, and before you get into the sales sequence. So a good indoctrination, or you could call it a welcome sequence too. But this is ongoing email communication that keeps you in front of your new prospect for a good period of time. Now, the way that ours is set up is we have an indoc sequence. It has 5 emails. And that's kind of like the, hey, welcome to my community, right? This is who I am. Here's a little bit about my story. Here's part 1 of my story. And the next email, I'm going to tell you part 2. And in the 3rd email, I'm going to give you something fun. And the 4th email, I'm going to wow you with something. And in the 5th email, we're going to start talking business. And then from there, then they go into a sales sequence for my first entry level product. And if you are in any type of business, let's say you're in network marketing, you would have that welcome sequence. And then you would have one thing about your business that you're going to focus on. And in network marketing and in coaching and in course creators, I find a very common problem is that people will focus on too many things. They'll have too many offers, and it's very confusing for the customer, and they can't make a decision because you're not asking them to make a yes, no decision. You're asking them to make a decision from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it goes on and on and on. And they oftentimes don't have all the data on those different things to make an educated decision. So they just will make no decision. Yeah. No decision equals no sale.
Yes. And I have also seen that. And I describe it as a confused mind says no.
Mm-hmm. That's
they
right.
Just say no.
That's right.
Like, wow, this is too much. Just no to all of it.
Yeah, it's like overwhelming. And especially like in network marketing, sometimes it's like, well, you can get this pack or this pack or this pack or this pack. And the way that I built my business to $1 million was just by offering one thing, one. And then we had other products, but we didn't tell people about them until they bought the one thing we were selling them. And people are like, oh my gosh, you made $1 million just from selling one product. And it's like, yeah, we did. And we still do. Because when people come in, we offer them one course, one. And it's our best-selling course. It's the one that helps people the most. We give it to them. We offer it right away. It's low cost. And then once they say yes to that, then we offer them the next thing. And they can say yes to that. Then we'll offer them the next thing and they can say yes to that. But we never give them a, do you want A or do you want B? Ever. So that's the other thing is you want to have that indoctrination sequence in place. So the other one that I definitely suggest you have, and guys, this is going to save you so much time. I'm telling you right now, this is going to save you a ton of time. So if you are going live in your Facebook group, or you're going live on Instagram, or you're going live on TikTok, and you're doing these videos that are value add, right? Like you're growing your audience, what you want to do is you want to create a drip sequence that people would go to once they're done with your sales sequence. They automatically go over to this drip sequence, and it just drips on them like every second or third day with a link to something that you recorded. Now that recording could be 8 months old. It really doesn't matter. But every time you do a video and you're doing a tutorial or a live or something like that, you want to go into your email autoresponder and add another email to that drip sequence with a link to that content. Mm. And by doing that, you're building out this never-ending follow-up with your leads that are constantly getting this great content from you. Now, what happens with that is when you're doing those videos, hopefully you're also in the videos doing a call to action on something, right? Like go here to buy this, or, go here to get this or something, right? There's a call to action at the end of the videos. It's not just like, hey, I hope you enjoyed this training. See ya. Right? You want to actually give people something to do, right? In exchange for just getting that great training. So you don't have to keep building sales sequences because you're sending people to your content and your content is selling them. Mm. So by doing that, And that's the simplest thing literally to get a VA to do is to download a video, go to your email sequence, put an email at the end that says, hey, I just did this great training. Want to make sure you know about it. Here's what's in it, blah, blah, blah. See you there, right? It's not a very complicated email. It's very short. And you can have like maybe 5 or 6 different versions of that your VA can like cycle through. And they just go and add this email in, right? And then you have an endless stream of amazing content that you're emailing to your list, right?
Yeah, that is such a genius idea. That's something that I currently don't have in my business, but as you're describing it, I'm like, wow, that is wicked smart. I'm totally going to steal that.
That's a good one, right? It's a good one. Okay, so I'm going to give you one more sneaky one that I did a TikTok on today.
Yeah.
And this is in particular, this is how we helped one of our clients recover $1,300 in sales from their e-commerce funnel. So they did a promotion and we noticed right away, like they contacted us and said, hey, we have people buying, we have people not buying. And we noticed right away that some people were going to their cart and not buying, right? Mm-hmm. And we just looked at it and we said, we think that these people are going to the cart and not buying because they're popping off to do research. So what we did was we added a special type of sequence called an abandoned cart sequence. Now I know, Adrienne, you know about these, right? But this is a bit higher level. A lot of people don't know about them. But if you're doing any type of online sales, you have to make sure that you put in a sequence that sends emails to people who made it to the cart and didn't buy. And what we did in this case was we said, hey, are you doing some research? We wanted to just point out these things and let you know that our sale's actually ending midnight. So if you're price shopping, guaranteed this is the lowest price, come get this now. It was for an e-commerce product, right? Mm-hmm. And we actually got 43 sales that had dropped off and about $1,300 in revenue captured just from that one email sequence. And there really was only 2 emails in that sequence. It was super short, super easy, not complicated, and it brought in more revenue. So that's another automation that you can add to your tool chest. Mm-hmm. And when I'm working with my clients, when we're going through their systems and we're working with them on their launches and stuff, we're always looking at, do they have these things in place? Because it's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. And to create 2 emails that's in a sequence that'll run over and over again on autopilot. Now you create it once and it can run 1,000 times, right?
That's right.
And so the first time through, they made an extra $1,300, but what about the next 22 times that the sequence runs for someone?
That's right.
Oh my gosh. So that's going to pay them dividends week after week, after week, after week.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I didn't give you 4 automations. I gave you 6.
Well, bonus.
I love to over deliver.
Yes, that is so Shannon's style. And I love that about you, Shannon. So all these great nuggets. Now someone watching, the viewer might be realizing like there's certain ones that the minute they heard it, they realized, I don't have that in place. I really should. Mm-hmm. But where do I learn how to do this? And how do I do what Shannon did and scale to $1 million? And like, gosh, I wish I just had a step-by-step guide, or I wish I had a blueprint of some sort. And I know that you have a special gift for our viewers that might be exactly what they're hoping for. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
I do. So I have had so many people ask me over the years, how do you grow and maintain a 7-figure business? So I actually wrote out what's called the 7-figure roadmap. And I just laid out exactly what I did and do to this day in my business. And in this blueprint, I actually talk about the 4 pillars of business. And the 4 pillars are really important. And whenever we're working with someone who's struggling, we always find that 1 or 2 of them just are being neglected. Mm-hmm. And then you end up kind of like with a house with its roof sliding off, or, it's just
like a dilapidated
exactly.
house. You don't want that.
Business isn't working. And a good indicator of that is like you're working all the time and you're busy and you're busy and you're busy, but your bank account isn't showing the result that you think it should, right? So it has the 4 pillars in there, and I laid out all that information. And then, of course, there's automations that go along with each of those 4 pillars that can make your life a lot easier, that can help you ditch the hustle, and really can just turn your business into a profit pumping machine that funds your freedom and is working for you instead of you working for it. And ultimately, that's the goal, right? To have a business working for you instead of you working for it.
And I love that. And that's what it's all about, because if you have the right strategies in place, and then you systematize them so that you can work smarter, not harder, you
That's
can
right.
have that, not just the income, not just the thriving business, but the lifestyle that goes along with it. And a life that you love. And I know everything that you've done in your business, you've done with the purpose and intention of building the lifestyle that you and your family want. And that's exactly what you teach your clients too.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Absolutely. Well, I love that. Thank you for that gift. That is an amazing gift. But I understand it's not the only one you have for the VIP ticket holders. There's something extra special. Do you want to tell us about that one?
Yes. So I just talked quite a bit about email, and email follow-up is literally the goose that laid the golden egg, right? I have people that 2 years, 5 years, 10 years now, after they first join my email list, will all of a sudden wake up and purchase. Not saying it takes that long. Like sometimes people just buy like right on the spot, a lot of people. But email follow-up is such a critical element of your business. But what I found was a lot of people really struggle with what to write about or what to write in their emails or how to formulate their emails in a way that engages the reader and gets a really good response. So I created a product called the Get to Yes Framework. It's really cool. It is a Trello board filled with ideas and subject lines on emails, plus a framework of writing an email so that you can just follow this framework of like, write this here, write that there. And it's drag and drop. So you can take the ideas that are in each section and just drag it and drop it over to a sequence. And then you can build your sequence based off of what you've customized. So that's normally $97, but I'm giving it to you for free as a VIP. And I'm excited for you to get it and access it. Everybody loves it. And I know that you'll love it too.
That is so generous. Thank you so much, Shannon. We're so excited. So you guys, somewhere around this video, somewhere close by, there'll be a button where you can grab Shannon's free gift. But there'll also be somewhere close. Yeah. But also somewhere on this page will be a button where if you don't have your VIP ticket yet, you can scoop that up. You can get Shannon's VIP gift and all the other VIP gifts from all the other speakers as well. So huge value there. And of course, that also comes along with the recordings of all the sessions. And so, you can binge watch them as much as you want, and you can grab all those gifts. You'll have those waiting for you there. So definitely scoop those up. And then I know Shannon's going to come into our Facebook group. She's going to do a live Q&A. So as you were listening to all the amazing tips, the 4 plus a couple bonus tips she gave us today, if one of them spoke to you and you have a burning question that I didn't happen to ask in this interview, come to the Q&A, ask your questions. Shannon is awesome about helping make sure everyone is pointed in the right direction and making progress and getting amazing results. So definitely join us there and meet Shannon in person and chit chat with her. And we would love to see you there. And thank you so much, Shannon, for joining us.
Absolutely, Adrienne. Thank you so much. I love these summits. You are such a rock star for providing so much value to your audience and to your students. It really is. It is an honor to be a part of this. So thank you again.
Oh, thank you so much. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Impactful Entrepreneur Show. If you found amazing value here, like, subscribe, and leave us a review to help other people find the high value content that we share, and find us on social media so we can continue the conversation. See you in the next episode.